The first words of a brief constructed response typically include repeating a couple keywords from the original question. This will produce a 2 to 4 sentence response. However, what do we do when students need to write a longer, extended reading response? What if they have to write 3 to 5 paragraphs? In these cases, teach students how to return to the original prompt to find their introduction. Let's look at an example prompt. Titled School Project, it reads, your principal has asked for suggestions for a class project to help the community. You think planting trees in your neighborhood would be an excellent project. After reading the quotation by Theodore Roosevelt and the excerpt from the School Book of Forestry, write an essay to persuade your principal that planting trees is the best project for your school to adopt. Include information from both texts to write about the subject knowledgeably. Be certain to support your point of view with reasons and information from both of the texts provided. Also, remember to use correct grammar, usage, capitalization, punctuation, and spelling when writing your essay. If that's the original prompt, what I'm going to want to do is model for students how to use a lot of this as potential introductory paragraph content. I might do something like this. Well, if I'm writing a letter to the principal, then I'm going to start, Dear Mrs. So-and-so, or Dear Mr. So-and-so. And instead of your principal has asked, just begin, you have asked for suggestions for a class project to help the community. I think planting trees in our neighborhood would be an excellent project. After reading the quotation by Theodore Roosevelt and the excerpt from the School Book of Forestry, now I know I'm going to write an essay, but I need to say what I believe. I believe planting trees is the best project for our school to adopt. And now I want to add in my reasons. I probably write for 3 reasons. Now, whether they put a period here and another sentence to identify the 3 reasons, or a colon, and they list their 3 reasons, we're done. We want to strike through this information, which of course they wouldn't put into an introduction. And all of this is more of a set of directions than fodder for the intro. But I have a great opening paragraph. Dear Mr. So-and-so, you have asked for suggestions for a class project to help the community. I think planting trees in our neighborhood would be an excellent project. After reading this and this, I believe planting trees is the best project for our school for 3 reasons. After modeling 1 or 2 examples like that, now it's time to teach students how you did that. And here are the instructional points you're going to want to make. First, teach students how to reuse the background sentences, the ones that identify the text they've read and the topic they're about to write about. Then this leads into the actual topic sentence or a thesis statement. They might have to restructure a little bit of that task-based sentence from the prompt in order to answer the question and identify their specific reasons. Throughout this process, of course, show them how to adjust the pronouns so they're appropriate and verb tenses. And of course, omit all of that. Be sure to include information of required elements. With that in mind, let's look at one more example. Here's the prompt. Flavored milk is popular with many students, but some people believe that flavored milk should not be served in school cafeterias. After reading Milk Nutrition by the Midwest Dairy Association and Jamie Oliver's video on sugar overload, write an essay in which you take a position. Do you agree or disagree with serving flavored milk in school cafeterias? Be certain to use information found in the article and video to support your point of view. Use facts, details, quotes, examples. Write knowledgeably. Remember to use grammar, capitalization, spelling, etc. Here is how students could rework that into an introductory paragraph. Repeat that same first line. And then after reading these texts on sugar overload, I believe flavored milk should or should not be served in school cafeterias, period. Information found in the article and video reveal that flavored milk is blank, blank, and blank. There are your reasons. Do you see how this technique will produce a long, meaty paragraph that identifies the purpose, the topic, the thesis statement? And it's a great alternative to, this is an essay about. We've got to teach students how to rework that prompt into a solid introductory paragraph. And that leads me to my last 2 points. First, it's not going to produce a wow opening lead, but it will produce a solid opening paragraph. And that's what many of our students need. And the second thing I want to reiterate is that this process will work great if the prompt produces an informative response or a persuasive argumentative. However, if students are asked to write a narrative, then simply reworking the prompt won't work. We're going to need to teach students how to start with characters in a setting and a problem. That requires a different type of introduction. So, when preparing students to write an informative, persuasive, or argumentative response to reading, this is a great strategy to add to your instruction.